it's Deborah Poneman, founder of Yes to Success Seminars, where we share knowledge and tools for you to live your ultimate life. And Ageless, anti-aging for your brain, your body, and your future. For those of you who are new to Success Saturdays, I want to let you know that one of the recurring themes that you will, in fact, hear very often is that our words and our thoughts not only create our reality, but can actually affect matter. In fact, I've shared a few times about my near-death experience and how in that space between life and death, I saw words coming out of the mouths of the nurses and the doctors that went into my body and shifted my body from weakness to strength and then back to weakness. When the nurse spoke positive words of my good health, I saw light coming from her mouth and entering my body, returning it to strength. And when the doctor expressed concerns that I was not going to live, I saw his words enter my mouth and drain my life force. And if you've seen the movie, What the Bleep Do We Know, you'll know that science has actually confirmed the power of our words and our thoughts. And that if we think of it and see the world as a fearful place, then we infuse fear into the fabric of creation and we increase the vibration of fear for everyone. But if we see the world as a loving place, and if you look with the intention of finding it, you will always find the love. We infuse that love into the fabric of creation and contribute to a more peaceful, kind, and loving world. So I recommend that at this very interesting time in the world that we become aware of the power of our words and thoughts that flow from us. And instead of sitting around and talking about how bleak and terrible everything is, and it's only going to get worse, talk about the world that you want to see. Talk about a world in which people are loving and kind and there's unity and acceptance, a world where we have compassion for people who are misguided because they feel powerless or their egos are threatened. Now, I'm not going to tell you that if you do that, the people who think the path to a better world is to cause chaos or harm are going to suddenly hold hands and sing Kumbaya. But what we put our attention on grows, not only in our own lives, but we give it energy. Just like that, the nurse's words and the nurse's thoughts affected my health. Okay. It's the law of attraction 101. Why would you think it doesn't apply here? Now, this doesn't mean that we hide our heads in the sand and act like we're in the middle of Camelot, but envisioning Camelot will do a lot more for your own happiness and peace of mind, and thus for the future direction of our world than continually putting our attention on chaos and hate, which is what we're doing when we talk about it. Anyway, my friend Marcia, who forwarded me a message it was from the angelic realm. There's a wonderful channeler, and she channels the angels. And so she's an angel communicator named Ann Albers. And Marcia thought that you might appreciate this. Anyway, by the way, Ann Albers has written lots of books like Love Letters from the Angels and Whispers from Spirit. And this is what she shared in a recent blog. It goes like this. You will not assist your world by joining in the chaos. You will not assist your world by any stance of righteousness, judgment, or superiority. You will not assist your world by trying to force light into anyone else's darkness. Instead, be the light, be the love, be the peacekeeper, be the one who gets up in the morning and appreciates your pillow for cradling your head at night. Love the soap and the water in your shower. Love your breakfast. Give thanks for your home. Give thanks for your family. Pet your dog, praise your children, appreciate your partners. Then pray, dear ones, for all human hearts to be uplifted. Pray for the hurting to be soothed. Pray for the fearful to feel God's love. Pray for yourself to be at peace. When you look at someone, imagine the spark of light in their hearts growing brighter until you imagine them glowing with this light. Telepathically whisper to each soul you see, whether in your physical presence or in the media, you are loved. Do this for all souls, not just the ones you agree with, for all, regardless of beliefs or behaviors. All are sourced from the very same light. As you silently bear witness to the inner light, you help others remember who they really are. As you telepathically whisper to souls, you send a vibrational wave of love to them, with which their soul will energetically interpret and feel. Your emanation of love might be the one that calms the hurting heart of a person who is about to become violent. Your telepathic whisper might be the one that soothes a soul who is in such pain that they were preparing to exit the planet by their own hand. Your love might be a wave of peace that lifts a spirit before they fall into the depths of despair and resignation. You may never meet these souls. You may never know them. Nonetheless, in the depth of your shared essence, you are connected, and your love matters. Isn't that beautiful? And how do you know that what's going on right now, especially in the political arena in the US, as settling as it seems on the surface, is not leading our country to new and glorious heights? Because this purification has to take place to make way for the light, the proverbial darkness before the dawn. Someone after one of my previous Success Saturdays asked me how I could possibly look at the good when not only is the country falling apart at the seams politically, but people seem to be dying right and left. People are struggling more than ever to make ends meet. They can't feed their families. Countries are at war around the world. And it always reminds me of the famous quote from Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich. He said, "Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries within it the seed of an equal or greater benefit." So know the truth of that. It has to be a blessing, even if it doesn't feel like it, or it wouldn't be happening, because the nature of life is to always move towards more and more. Again, I know it doesn't feel like it sometimes, even in my own life, but I trust that it's the truth. As the great author Byron Katie, founder of the work, said, "Everything happens for you, not to you. You don't have to like it. It's just easier if you do." Actually, I remember a woman in one of my Yes to Success programs several years ago who lost her job at a nonprofit because it downsized, and she was absolutely devastated. She was despondent, and fortunately, she had the Yes to Success community to pull her through, but she tried and tried and tried to get another job in her field, and it wasn't happening. So as a last resort, she decided to start her own little nonprofit in the same area. I think it was maybe for special needs kids. Anyway, within a few years, her nonprofit exploded, and she was then making 3 times as much salary and having 100 times the impact. It dwarfed the impact that the first nonprofit was making. But remember, it might not happen in your timing, but it will happen in perfect timing. It's impossible to judge any moment or event because we can't know the ultimate outcome. Sometimes seemingly tragic events lead to unknown blessings. And other times our best moments are followed by trauma. In fact, just this morning, I was interviewed by this lovely woman who got her car stolen. And I talked about this concept to her, and she said, "Oh my gosh, that is so true, that we have no idea what it's going to lead to." And she said that the police officer who took the report asked her out on a date. So who knows what's going to happen there? Anyway, we just don't know what's next. So during the good times, give thanks, and during the painful times, give thanks, and know that this too shall pass, and it always does. And when we give thanks, the good will reveal itself more quickly. So I invite you to use the power of your attention to see a glorious future for our planet, filled with grace and unity and love and peace and compassion for all, and most of all, for your beautiful self. See you next week.